Hi, hi, happy Friday. How's it going, guys? I'm Meg, and of course, that's my co host, Darren Thay from An Honest Mistake. And of course,
Woohoo!
this is Pop Up Stage on another Friday. Kickstarting your weekend early because on Fridays, we bring you some awesome tracks that you can check out during the weekend. And especially if you're not too familiar with Malaysian tracks, okay? Because, hey, we want to bring you the best. We want to introduce you to some of our amazing local talent, and we have so much to be proud of. Yeah. Now,
Yep.
Darren's going to be lagging here and there because I think we lost him for a little while there. He just froze, but rest assured, he's still with us and he will be with us throughout the show,
Yeah,
forbidding
so
anything else.
like the video is not syncing up to the audio, which is really odd. But it's all good. It's Friday, that means we are previewing new songs. And yeah, it's always good to just share new tracks, coming out of Malaysia. And speaking of which, let's jump right into it. We have a new one by the guys from Tidal. They're a new indie pop band. They've not performed that much, but they've been putting out tracks. Very good streams online. So let's check this one out. This is called "So in Love Tonight." Just dropped today. Indie pop at its finest, I guess.
I'm so in love with the way that you look tonight. I'm so in love with the way that you look tonight. Tonight. I'm so in love with the way that you look tonight. I'm so in love with the way that you look tonight. Tonight. Put my arms around my waist and I see those mistakes that I ate, but I prayed for a better piece of cake, though.
Very cool. So that
Nice.
was yeah. So that's Tidal. They've been around for about a year, maybe 2 years, I reckon. But yeah, I mean they're a good band. I had an opportunity to do some work with them for a bit.
They're very
So
hardworking boys. I'd have to say that. I mean, we've got to know them a little
yeah,
bit.
I
We've
I
been
guess so.
they've
Yeah.
been featured on the show as well,
Mm.
and they know what they want lah. So it's interesting how they get things done as well. Like the last track, they had a really cool music video as well that they put together by themselves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I
all
hope
right.
I hope they do really well. Yeah. But let's move on to the next one. This guy is really new. He is only 19 years old, and he, according to him, he's been through a lot of hard stuff. Sometimes I think, like, you're 19, what hard stuff would he have gone through until you start working and like
The
face
old man
life,
in
right?
Darren is coming out. I tell you.
But yeah, anyway, this is Ezra Cairo's brand new track, just dropped today as well. It's called Hold Me. Let's check it out.
Every day I wake up just to see your smile. It brings a light in me and kills my darkest times. I hope that you can see it, that I'm all in to have it. I'll die with you even if it's the end. I'll die with you, I'll cry with you, I'll die with you. Look close in my eyes, I'm not saying through. Cause all for you, get all of this means something. But I just want you to hold me close. Don't you leave me, baby, oh, don't let go. Even when the sky falls down, you're not alone. Cause all you need is I. Hold me close.
Cool. What a
Nice.
yeah. I think it's got a different take, like to a lot of the R&B stuff that's being put out right now. This is a little bit
He's
more guitar
19,
driven.
is it? Is this like his first track?
Not really. I mean, I had a chat with him. He said that he's put out a bunch of stuff like earlier on, but this is him as a new person because apparently his older stuff, they were more, I guess, explicit and a little bit more angry.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
So
maturity.
yeah,
Very
yeah.
nice.
So we should definitely get him on the show. So it's a really cool track, guys. He's got a killer TikTok and also Instagram as well. So y'all, if y'all are watching, just go on and follow him. And okay, I'll play you guys this last one. This is by an artist called Shen. She's an amazing singer, electronic artist. But this is actually a remix done by Chris M. Young. So let's check this one out. And Chris M. Young actually did. He's an EDM guy. He's done a couple of remixes. He did one with Amrita Soon last year. So yeah, let's check this one out.
You don't get it, do ya? It's not what you say, it's not what you do. It's just in the way you do it. Not that kind of fool, yeah. Spent so many days thinking of ways that I could break it to you. Not saying it's not you, it's me. Said you appreciated honesty. Now I'm sitting by the stairs and you pull me by the hair. Baby, we're beyond repair. Cause I know what I want. Tell me, too young, too young. And I know what I need. Tell me, too young, too young, too young. Yeah, I know what I want. Tell me, too young.
Okay, I think we'll stop it there because I have not listened to the track entirely yet, which means that you guys should definitely go and listen to it because I think it sounds like it's gonna build up and it's gonna go into a drop. Yeah, so sounds really really cool. I think like lately, it's the whole culture of putting out remixes and all that. I think it's good that artists are branching out of their own genres as well, and producers are also reaching out to artists from different genres. Yeah, very cool.
I kind of like all three of your picks today. So well done. So there you go. That's bulletin board for pop-up stage this afternoon. Now, if you haven't checked it out, head on to your preferred digital streaming platforms and go check out the music. Okay. If you want to know the titles, you can always, drop a line in the comment section and we'll tell you what the titles were again. Okay, so it's time for us to feature a band. They're known as a super group. It's actually pretty exciting how so many of them make up this one super group, and they've all come together from different parts of the region. Can I say the region? Yeah, probably.
Yep.
So
Yep.
they are known as Project E.A.R, also known as Project East Asian Revolution. So let's bring them on. We've got Moots, Uno, and Dandy who'll be joining us this afternoon.
Woohoo!
What's up?
Hi,
What's up,
guys. Welcome
What's
to the
good?
show.
We're good.
Yeah.
Hi,
So
Dad.
obviously we have Moots and Uno, who are, obviously from Malaysia. They are a part of one of the greatest bands right here in Malaysia called Pop Shavit, and of course we have Dandy from Thailand. And
Yes.
Project E.A.R is a super group made up of various people from the region, predominantly right here in Southeast Asia. But you guys are legends. You guys have put out like a lot of really good music. Your music videos have always been killer. Your performances are always killer. So yeah, man, thank you guys for coming onto the show. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having
Now,
us. Darren. Yeah.
I'm
And
just
Danny is actually
curious.
an
about
honorary Malaysian.
honorary Malaysian.
He's Thai, yeah. He spent more time in Malaysia than anywhere than in Bangkok last couple of years when you could
That's
travel.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool. After all, we love having more people here in Malaysia, especially talented ones at that, So you guys, I read your bio and I'm very intrigued by how the group came together. So, tell us your story. How did you guys come together? What prompted you to form Project East Asian Revolution?
MySpace, if anyone remembers that, it was a really hot platform like 20 years ago, right? So, showing our age now, but we had a pretty decent MySpace like account and following. For those of you who don't know, MySpace is basically it's like if Facebook and Spotify merged,
Yeah.
that would have been MySpace, right? Essentially, so it kind of, it was the dawn of the digital era, and MySpace as a platform picked up for musicians and bands, and I think that was where, for the first time, we realized we had direct access to other artists from around the world. And I think our drummer Rudy just heard Dandy. At that point in time, Dandy had another group called Silk Sounds, reached out to him, and then we just linked up, and I called that we were recording our third album, right? Uno,
Yep.
third album, Tales of the
Yep.
Traveling Tunes. Yep. And so I just asked Danny to feature on a track, and um, he wanted to meet in person. So he flew down to KL for a few days, and we recorded the track, and just caught up, hung out, became good friends. And then we shot the video in Bangkok. So then we went to Bangkok and met with Dandy, and that's when we met Dandy's extended family from Bangkok Invaders and Titanium. And then I think that was essentially the birth of everything else that came out of it. I mean, I would say that if that meeting did not happen, I don't think there would even be a Def Jam Southeast Asia to that extent, because
Yeah.
all the connects and all the friendships that have been made with Joe meeting the Titanium Boys, and a lot of things just sprung out from that one meeting that we had.
Mm.
And we went to Jame, of course, was based in the Philippines. We went to the Philippines for a show. Dandy came along, and then we were just chilling. It was in the hotel room, and we were talking about doing like some music together outside of our own bands. And then we came up with the name Project. So it was going to be a project, right? So it's a project for each one of our bands, and that's when we came up with the name East Asian Revolution and E.A.R. And then when we were nominated for the MTV Asia Awards, and they wanted a special, because they always have these special performances. So we said, okay,
Yeah.
rather than us, collaborating with another pop artist from somewhere else in the world that we don't know, we might as well collaborate with our friends. And then we pushed this idea about, hey, look, it's Southeast Asian Awards. Let's get acts from each country, and then we put that together, and that was the birth of E.A.R. for the first time performing anything together. Was at Genting Arena of Stars, I think, in 2008.
Right.
Nice, very nice. Okay, so you started with the idea of it being a project, but you maintain that name until today. So why call yourself a project? Are you still a work in progress?
So we kind of dumped it. I mean,
Will always be, I guess.
Yeah, so the problem with that is essentially the tagging of names on the digital platforms, isn't it? Because we've kind of dumped the project from our artwork anyway. We're just E.A.R. now. E.A.R.
Right.
is Illusion. But the problem is that on Spotify, Apple Music, we're Project E.A.R., not even E.A.R. And we can't change that. The project has been dumped from our, from us, as far as us putting out any form of visuals or merch out. But unfortunately, with the artist tagging, it's difficult for us to dump the project. So it's still out there. Because if not, it will just be called E.A.R. or E.A.R. So,
but I think with the current updates and all that, you should be able to change your name. But then it's a whole long process. You have to go through a lot of stuff, and might as well just leave it as it is.
Correct, because we're independent now. I mean, well, of course, this particular release was with Universal Music, but for the initial stages when we were putting all our content and catalogs up, we were doing it independently. So, you're right. Maybe it's time I talk to the label to see if they can help us. Just put it out there as East Asian Revolution. Then we're done. But then again, people still search for us as Project E.A.R.
Correct. So it's going to be difficult to even drop the project because you've made a name out of that name,
Exactly. So obviously no thought was put into that.
I think in 2008, who would have known that, we would all end up doing music like digitally, having our music up, Before that, it was MySpace and Pure Volume and Napster and stuff like that,
Exactly.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. What do you say?
I was just gonna say, I mean, like now people have like billions and billions of views, but at that point in time, like 2007 when we released Marabahaya, the song hit a million at that time, and in the world of YouTube, that was big. Like to
That
get
was
to now,
big.
anyone can get to a million, but at that time to get a million, like wow, those are big numbers. That
Correct.
you can see it in context of how the digital age has just the advent of technology has just taken everything times 10 times 100.
Yeah. That's true.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now with the collaboration of so many amazing groups under that name, Project E.A.R, how many of you make up Project E.A.R?
I think the core has always been the three groups: Pop Shabit, Dandy, and Slapshot. But then with the extended family, now I would say, like, if we look at the current lineup, it's a strong core 10 people,
Mm-hmm.
made up of musicians and four vocalists. So I think that's essentially um, E.A.R in a nutshell.
Right. Because
Okay.
Emmett is involved as well, right? Or is
Yes,
he like
yes.
a featured artist?
No, he's in. I mean, so this album that I mean, Dark Times obviously we recorded in
Yeah.
September, but all the other songs that we had was meant to be released last year when we had a
Yeah.
lot of shows lined up. We were going to go on tour, um, and that was when the pandemic hit, and then we were like, it doesn't make sense to release that album with those songs. So, and then we came up with the concept of Dark Times after talking to Jamie and Emmett. Sorry, to
Yeah.
answer your question, Emmett's part of the band now. I mean, he's got
Yeah.
his own Emmett I thing going on.
Yeah.
Of course, he's got Butterfingers, and
Yeah.
Project E.A.R is the next thing that he has. So
Okay.
he's
Okay.
now with us, fully. But with Project E.A.R, it's always constantly evolving. So there is the core, which are the three of us, but then there's also the extended family. But I think Emmett's now part of the core as well, because we've been writing music with him since 2017.
Nice, nice.
Very
So
nice, very
is this
nice.
like, is this what E.A.R is gonna be for, as we move on to the future, or do you see yourself evolving to a bigger group eventually?
Dandy, Uno, you can take this one.
I think we always evolving, but for now, for the near future, that's what it is. I think Emmett is definitely the newest core member since like 3 years, but we've been working with him on the last album, so he's a big part of it now, and that's what it is. I guess for the future, but we always always evolving, always like connecting with people. So who knows what the future holds. So there always can be new members, there always can be new connections made, there always can be new friendship made. And then if the music gets made, then why not?
I guess to add on to that is like where we started this, it was, I mean, like obviously the name project got stuck, but it was more of a movement of like-minded folks.
Right.
Yeah.
So it has always been fluid. It has always been fluid, So we have the core members, but we have always like big extended families. We have Dali from Singapore. Obviously, we have our friend Saint Loco from Indonesia. We work with a lot of other artists as well.
Titanium in Thailand, right?
Yeah.
Joe Flizzo in Malaysia. Joe Flizzo is extended.
Yeah. So it's more of a fluid movement that we were trying to create here. So it's always ever evolving, I feel.
And it's also not just about the artists. Like I think Project E.A.R is also about the people behind the scenes. So what you don't see is the engineers, the producers, the music video directors, the managers that all have kind of become a part of this family, and have also evolved from the network that we created through Project E.A.R. And that's essentially what it was. It was a network for us to link up with other artists and help each other out. Obviously with certain artists being bigger in certain markets, we're able to help the other acts break into that market. So that's essentially what Project E.A.R was, to leverage
Exactly. Yeah,
Nice.
this is where when we started this, it was a time like what Mood said earlier, when a million views on YouTube was a big deal, right? And
Absolutely.
at that time, like building bridges or breaking down like barriers and walls between the countries was something that was very at its infancy stage, I would say.
Mm.
Right.
So we
Yep,
were
that's
trying to
true.
build that bridge, and things is like we are at a point right now where digital revolution have made it a lot more easier to possible to kind of like reach out to different markets and different
That
niches,
is true.
right? But when we started out, there was no such thing yet. We were
Yes.
literally breaking down barriers with our hands,
Correct.
and we hope at that point of time that it will inspire a movement where there's a reason why it's East Asian revolution, because even though we're different countries with different languages and different cultures and whatnot, we believe that there are still that possibilities, and we believe we are a part of a bigger family, and there
Yeah.
are ways and that we could all possibly treat the entire region as one single playground.
Nice.
Exactly.
And
Nice.
Yeah,
to add on again, a lot of people don't realize that it was not cheap to fly back then.
Yeah.
A flight to Bangkok would have cost you like 3,000 ringgit. You know,
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
only at that point in time when the low cost carriers came in, Air Asia, etc., that it was just a couple of $100 to fly from KL to Bangkok, and then
Yeah.
you could fly a whole team down, right? You could fly a whole
Mm.
band. So I think that was the real revolution for us, because then the whole circuit of independent acts and bands were now able to travel from country to country. And
Mm.
Yeah.
for us, the best thing we could do at that time was just to get in a van and drive down to Singapore for a show. That was it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now that has changed.
Yeah, I think what you guys have started, is to kind of like pave the way for a lot of
Absolutely.
artists in the region to see that, hey, I'm from the Philippines, but maybe I should think about getting out of the Philippines. Maybe I should collaborate with an artist from Singapore or Indonesia or China or something. I mean, of
Right.
course, yeah. So I think it's also created that opportunity, or at least that idea in a lot of people. I mean, it definitely inspired me. Like, because when I saw you guys doing that, it was, in the early, I mean, I guess early 2010s, I was starting to organize gigs, and I thought, hey, I think I should start getting artists from the Philippines, and from Singapore, from Bangkok, over to play shows in KL, So I think, seeing how you guys did it, I was also inspired. Okay, there's this opportunity to build this network for things to happen.
Very
Yeah,
And
nice.
those
it's
were the
awesome.
days when
This is what
Go
we
ahead,
wanted to
Andy.
do. No, this is what we wanted to do, and that was our dream. And kind of like I would say, and even now it goes even further, that even in the industry now, it's like we're looking at each other, like the labels, like even like
That's true.
Moods mentioned Def Jam Southeast Asia. Now we have Def Jam Southeast Asia, Thailand, Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, and so on and so on. And this is like kind of what we started. And so it's great to see that. And now like many artists know each other too from regions. Now Malaysian artists know Thai artists know Singaporean artists. And it's kind of like the new generation is their dream to go international too. Like the first time, like they don't want to be local no more. Not just like Thailand. They want to go to Malaysia. They want to
Yeah.
go to Singapore. They want to connect with these people now. So and that's great. So that's what we always wanted to do.
Now, Una, you mentioned you guys started this at the infancy stages. Where back then it was quite difficult to do. You didn't have social media. You couldn't really connect with other artists that easily. So, what were some of the challenges making this happen?
I think it's well, you can say it was challenges, but it was also fun. I mean, like obviously connecting, and like what Moots mentioned earlier, logistic was just much more challenging back then. And you have to remember, like we were doing all this like independently.
Yeah.
So we plan everything. It's like every single bit of, let's say, we gotta be really, really careful and really, really clever with our spendings and our cash flow, because we were literally recycling our show money,
Mm.
to plan like an entire the recording, the album, the
Correct.
collaboration. Do we have enough to actually travel to do the video in Bangkok and things like that? And it's like, and that's where like really the movement and the brotherhood came along, because it's not just us, but also our counterparts. Let's say, for example, if we were like touring in Philippines, then we will really have to plan with our Philippine like brothers, like okay, can you kind of like take care of our food, and can we crash a bit here and there, so things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It yeah. So, but that was also the thing that kind of like made it fun,
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
and memorable.
Yeah,
Mm.
when you're young and you're in a band and you're traveling, that's the best memories. That's
Correct.
the fun part of it is always the traveling, the touring, and when you're traveling between countries, hanging out with friends, the partying, all of that. It's the full swing. The friendship, the brotherhood, like Uno said. And we've all stayed friends all these years.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
think it ever seemed to us really difficult, because we like Mood said and Una said, it was fun to do it.
Yeah.
So it was like, let's do it. Like, let's make it happen. How can we make
Yeah.
it happen? Like,
Yeah.
Okay, so going through all that different memories, like looking back in time, what were some of the things that you guys had to do that you never thought you'd find yourself doing or imagine yourself doing ever?
Oh, I think we were open to do anything at that point.
Mm.
Nothing was out of like
When you're young,
nothing was
right?
out
Just
of
bring
your-
it on.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, we did a lot of things, like and we were open and we were ready. And it's like there was nothing I would say that was like out of the ordinary for us, because we were just so ready to go.
Mm.
Nice.
Yeah, like all those nights, sleepless nights, or crashing at like random strangers' place, or sleeping at the airport.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just like fun, and like I said, it's like we were just ready to go, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's
a lot
what
of
you call
people, like,
passion, yeah.
a lot of new artists, especially when they think like, oh, we're a new band, we want to go on tour, and then after that they realize, alamak, I need to sleep in the airport, I need to wait like 5 hours in advance, or when you get there, your transportation is not there, you don't speak the language and stuff like that, but but that is the part that makes it all fun,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and it's all live experience. I've had so much fun on tour as well, being left by our bus and stuff like that, left the guitar on the bus. But
We
yeah.
left our guitarist in the airport also.
Oh yes. JD told me that story one time.
We lost JD in Qatar, Doha,
Yep.
because he lost his passport.
He lost his passport.
But you see, this experience have made you who you are today. So you're now more prepared. You're like, okay, nothing can deter us from doing what we want to do, because you've learned it and you've experienced it. So it's made you a more wholesome person in a way, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
Very true.
Okay, so I'm just curious though, has E.A.R given you a platform to do more than just doing things, in your own bands?
Yeah, sure.
I think yes, definitely. Because of the fact that it's connected by countries and it's connected by different acts. It has a very compelling story for even festival organizers, or it's easy to get through the door to have a conversation with someone. I mean, like working with Butch, it was easier when it was like, I never worked in any Asian acts before. It was easier to get through the door to a lot of people. Even working with like the My Chemical Boys, it's easier. But I would say that the reason why we started Project E.A.R at that point was as a stepping stone for all our bands, because we all felt we kind of hit that ceiling or that plateau in our own countries. And then now, after having been doing Project E.A.R for the longest time, like even for us, I mean, like with Uno and myself, like now we're going back to write new pop chavit songs, which we haven't released anything new in years. So
Yes, yeah.
right, so I guess it's like it also gave us some time away from our own bands and acts for us to kind of like take some time out to do something different, and then now come and revisit
Yep.
music again for us.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean it's the end of Project E.A.R. It's just that we can't do much other than release music at this point in time. For us, essentially as a group, it comes with the live energy that we have. I think that's essentially E.A.R. It's a show.
Definitely.
You gotta come to the show.
Definitely. Yep. Dandy, Uno, anything else to add to that?
I mean, for me, it's like, of course, Project E.A.R. Gave me the platform to do something with rock music, right? I'm a rapper. I'm coming from a hip hop background, but I love rock music. When I was young, I loved reggae music, but I never had the chance to do it. So now it was my chance to work with a band, and for me, working with a band or playing with a band live is the best thing ever. So cannot be imitated by just by the wave or MP3 or the DJ playing the music. Live band is something magical to me. So E.A.R. is that for me. Uno?
Yep. Yeah, I think you guys summed it up. It's I think we all can't wait. We all just can't wait to hit the road, and when the events, are given the green light to actually start again, that's the time when we'll be rejoicing, because it's all about the energy on stage. It's all about feeling like there's nothing, there's no substitute to that. When you play live, right, and you're feeding off the energy of the crowd, it's almost like being on stage is like therapy for us. It's our happy spot.
Absolutely.
I know that feeling.
Absolutely. Okay, so guys, you guys kicked off 2021 with an anthem of hope. It's called Dark Times. Walk us through the story behind the song.
Andy?
Before you start, I just want to say that when I heard the track, I was like, wow, this is different. I really like everything about it, like the production and all that, and you guys working with Butch Vig, that's just insane. I heard all the tiny little bits, that I've not heard in any of you guys' songs before, and I'm like, wow, this is something.
Yeah.
So, appreciate it.
Who wants to take it? Okay, I mean, Dark Times is definitely a result of a couple of components. So first of all, it's like Jamil Garcia wrote this song, and he wrote it in the urgency of because we were in a pandemic and we still in a pandemic, and this is how we feel, and he was saying to us before we release anything else, we should release that. Because it's current, it's for the pandemic, it's for the world. We all in the same boat. We at home, we alone. We have to quarantine ourselves. We cannot see our loved ones sometimes. We cannot see the band. We cannot travel, and so on and so on. So that was the urgency of Jamil Garcia to release this as a next single, and he wrote the song. And then of course it's the collaboration with Butch Vig. Very important, very big thing. And the newest extended member of Project E.A.R. now. And it was crazy to work with a legend like this for us. So it was when Roots came with it and was yo, we're gonna work with Butch Vig, who did Nirvana's album, and and all that and garbage and blah blah blah, and we were like, what? We didn't even really believe it right away first, and we thought it's a joke. So, but then it happened. So Butch Vig is a big part, and then the production, of course, James Lewis, who worked for My Chemical Romance and stuff, he produced the song, the melodies for us. So it was that's Dark Times. We want to take over, Moods, and add on.
Yeah, I mean, that was it. I think it was also at that time when the whole world was on lockdown. Right, everybody was on lockdown, and it was at that point where not anyone in the world could say that they were doing okay, because everyone was stuck at home, right? So it was one another. There was a lot of emotions going on. So I think the messaging that we wanted to put out at that point in time was that feeling that everyone had all across the world, that
Mm.
at the end of the day there's still hope, there's still the light at the end of the tunnel, and that was the message that we wanted to put out. And I think with Butch, we just didn't want to send him a rock track. We wanted to send him something that he would enjoy mixing, and I think that was also the goal for us, to make sure that musically, lyrically, everything was stepped up. I mean, even with this song, I told Andy, let's take a step back. Let's not do rap chorus. Jamie came up with a double chorus, and then Ahmed had a whole verse, and then Dandy and I just split 8 bars each. So we really flipped the arrangement around, and I think that was what made it exciting for Butch to mix it as well. And he really spent time on the track. Like, he spent a whole month breaking the track down, mixing it for us, and it sounded fantastic. And I think this is something that, as a musician, this is kind of like that, the golden nugget, right? It's the perfect song that you produce, you get sounding right. And I think this was it for us. And he was like, release it tomorrow.
And the entire process with Butch as well, right?
Yeah.
Because it was not just us sending a track for him to mix. He was literally took time to kind of really get into the process of writing, understanding it. Like, he really wants to get behind the G's and how the song came about, so that he could actually mix and approach it as if he's part of the band.
Yeah.
Not just as a mixing engineer. So that was really cool, and that was really something different for us as well.
Yeah.
Is this your first time working with him, or have you guys worked with him before?
No, this is the first time. And then we also he mixed another. After that, he mixed another track of ours, which is going to be the next single, which is called Stars. It's actually a song that we had released under the Revolution album, but then Jameez had a vision of the song, or how he wanted it to sound, so we reworked it last year. So that Butch mixed that for us as well. But
nice.
yeah, it's the first time working with him.
So what was the experience like working with him?
I mean, everyone was just smiling ear to ear. It was like fanboys, right? So, I think more so for Jameh and Uno and Rudy and the musicians and the producers in the bands. For them, it's different, because he breaks everything down sonically, like how he mixes, and that whole process of him explaining it. We had a lot of Zoom sessions with him. So we were mostly on Zoom chatting with him, and I think that's how the friendship came about as well, because you spend a couple of hours in a month chatting with someone, and then you end up striking a friendship as well. So it started with that, and I think it was definitely fanboy moment at first, and then just learning from one of the greats, right?
Yeah. It's more of like I said earlier, because the fact that he took the time to actually get to know how the song came about. He really wants to kind of approach it as part of the band, was really kind of whoa. Obviously, me and the rest of the boys, we were geeking on the parts, when he kind of broke down every little sonic of the things that he did for the song. Oh, I taken this part of the bit, oh, this drum snare, I just pick the transient, and the audio gig in us is whoa, so that's how he did it,
Right.
But it was just surreal, it evolved into a friendship, like what Mood said, and we really appreciate, what he did.
Yeah. You know what? I'm actually quite interested in how it actually happened. I'm not sure if this was asked already. Was it an email, to Butch, and hey, would you be keen to work together? How did that happen?
So I stumbled across a charity that it was for charity. So what he did was, he said, I'll make a song for a band. It was for his daughter's school, because he was on lockdown. So we submitted, and then it didn't even get to him. It went through the person who organized the charity, and then they heard the songs, they filtered through. So when he received the music, and we had to send him the music and music videos, I think we always talked. He told us the first thing he said, I was so afraid it was going to be some high school band. In the end, when he saw it, he was like, okay, you guys are legit. And I think that And then when we sent him the song, because what we sent to him was already like pretty much a JD mix, right?
Yeah.
So then from there, then they just set up a Zoom session, and then that was it. Then from then on, we just had direct
The rest is
contact with him,
history.
and we just went forward from there.
Very nice. Very
Nice.
nice. Yeah,
Very
what an
nice.
opportunity, man.
Yeah, man.
That's why I say sometimes people look at the pandemic as very negative, but I also see that with everything being done virtually now, right? The pandemic also with everybody being more open to doing to doing work over virtually, it opened
Yeah.
doors for new collaborations and partnerships to happen, and I think that was great.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
So you just got to look for the opportunities. Otherwise, create your own opportunities because you never know. Yeah.
Very much so.
All right. So I'm going to ask you this question. We've been asking this question to most of the people who have been on the show because last year was a very difficult year for many bands and vocalists, right? They had to pivot, they had to take different methods to record and produce their albums and stuff like that due to the lockdown and the pandemic. But for you guys, being in different countries and having to work on songs together, how was it like? Has it been any different at all?
Not really. I think that's always been our workflow. So that's one advantage, I guess, we had.
Yeah.
Because we've always been like leveraging on technologies, and like you said, because the fact that we are all based in different countries. Even at one point of time, I was actually living in Borneo for a good 9 years.
Yep.
Yeah, so so the whole idea of like collaboration over technology is not something new for us. But however, we do make a point to kind of like get together because nothing beat like actually being in the same room and really kind of like converging your creative ideas together in the same space.
Yep.
But we don't shy from technology.
I think Dark Times was the first song that we did songwriting wise without meeting each other. We always have that session where Jamil will fly in for a day, knock out like 10 songs with us, and then fly back. And then after that, everything is done virtually. Then that whole process of 3 months of recording the instruments and recording the vocals happen on our own. And then, we just piece it together. But yeah, you still need that face-to-face because you need to chat. You want to talk about what we're going to talk about.
It's going to bounce off the ideas.
That's very important. But I think with all the platforms that are now available, right? We were just like on virtual calls, talking and hanging out, and then that's how we started writing as well. So in a way, it's the new norm now, and we've always embraced it. So it's not been difficult.
Okay, so that means the pandemic didn't quite alter anything, about the way you guys did things, other than getting rid of that one session that you had together, your brainstorming session, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it got us lazy. That's what happened. We all just kind of like sat at home and got fat, right? I mean, Danny decided to become got into Muay Thai. So everyone had their different things, but I think we all kind of like. The sense of urgency wasn't there. I would have to say we all. I think everyone stuck at home. You're just like everyone was taking, things that could have been done in a week takes a month to get done. But it was really when we all had to kind of like pressure each other. Yo, let's finish it. That's when we started getting productive. But that was the only thing that affected us. Like we were not out and about. We were not going about our daily life. So everyone just got lazy.
I guess everybody just got comfortable being at home, isn't it? I mean, for once you had time to be at home to rest,
Yeah.
Okay, so Dark Times happens to be, I think, the last track from Jamir Garcia. He also dropped his vocals on it as well. Now, being a super group with each and every one of you having your own strengths, Jamir has had his own strengths as well. Now, without him now, does the dynamics of the group get affected?
Yeah, of course. He's always been the pillar and the nucleus of the band. Like he was the hook guy. Like he came out with the killer hooks, and his style was different as well. I mean, if you listen to the new songs that we have, like the choruses that Jameh sings and the choruses that Emmett sings has very different dynamics to it. So I would have to say that having that dynamic for the band, it's gone. It's never going to come back. We've accepted that. But what we also see is that with Project E.A.R, it's never just about one sound. So
Yeah.
the next person, I mean, it's still us. We haven't decided, the next step yet. But we're definitely probably gonna carry on and write new music as well. But the question as to whether that sound will still be there, no, because it was his style, and that was
Do you
what
think-
he brought to the brand. To the band.
Do you think there will be another Filipino representative, to be added to the family?
Okay, so the thing about E.A.R, it was never about cut and paste an artist. We're all friends, so it depends. If there's some Filipino artist, rapper or singer that we end up crossing paths with and hang out with and have that energy, and then Dandy and Uno and I probably look at each other and say, yeah, this is the guy.
Right.
Until that happens, and it doesn't have to be the Philippines, it could be from any other country, because don't forget Chi, the drummer, and Leanne, the guitarist from Slapshot, also are part of E.A.R. They've played for us as well. So Leanne has been playing on the new songs that we're releasing. So the Filipino connection is still there to the band, but vocalist wise, not yet. We still have two rappers and a singer, so that's still good to go for now.
All right.
And I think the next step for us is really not moving on from Jameer. It's more we're gonna hold up. We're gonna keep his legacy going, So it's with the next album that we're gonna drop, it's all about releasing the music that we have with him that hasn't been released. And I think for our fans, Project E.A.R fans, as well as Slapshot and Jamaica Garcia fans in the Philippines, it's gonna be a lot new stuff for them. So because of the new music, and they never heard the music, even if the music was recorded years ago and we never released it, now it's coming to light, and then it's the fans can very enjoy this music and enjoy Jameer's music. I just want to add on, Jameer was the core part, he was the main hook man. So Jameer is not. Jameer's passing is definitely a big thing for us. So we don't know what the future holds, but let's see. But we will have a future.
I love the fact that you guys want to keep his legacy going, and it's amazing. I think he'll always be part of the band, because I think Moods, you mentioned that there is already another track that is in the works to be released soon this year that has him as well. So that's amazing.
Correct. Yeah,
the whole album, right?
We're gonna release the whole album with all the remaining songs, and then we have a tribute track with pretty much a bunch of artists from E.A.R and some of the Filipino artists that were his friends. We're just waiting for one more artist to record, and then we should be ready to mix it and release that. That will be Stars, the next single that we want to release, was really his personal favorite, and going back through the messages and emails, it was something that he was like, I was the one holding it back, because I was like, why do you want to re-release the song? And he was like, no, do it. So I'm fulfilling his legacy and doing what he wanted us to do, and we're gonna put that out. We've also got the video done. We actually shot the video 8 years ago in New York. So this is what was amazing about the fact that Project E.A.R and the network of friends that we had. We reached out to the person that came with us to New York after all these years, and he still had the original raw footage and files, which he sent to them.
Wow.
We could actually piece together a music video. So that's going to be the next single. Then the single after that, of course, will be Fade to Black, which will be the tribute song to him.
Nice. So we're looking forward to, seeing and listening to all your future tracks as well. I think it's going to be amazing. We've spoken about Dark Times on Pop-Up Stage this afternoon. So let's take a listen for those of you who have not yet actually heard the song. So here you go, Dark Times on E.A.R for Radio.
You're my guiding light. When I'm lost inside, you're my eagle eye.
Congratulations, guys. The song is amazing. And can I just say that my 10-year-old loves it? Okay. When I first heard it, he was like, his ears perked up and he was like, Mommy, who sings that song? Can you send the song to me, please? Can I listen to it? So I'm like, yeah, you have a new fan. So
Thank you.
well done. This is amazing. So good job, guys. What
Thanks.
are your hopes for that song?
I think essentially it's like if someone's not in the right place, mental health is a big challenge. Of course, we lost a very dear friend to depression, and I think mental health is important. And I just hope if someone who's down and out listens to the song, and if it helps them get out of a bad spot or a bad situation or just a bad day, then I think then our job is done. That's what we want. I think that's really the message and hope for the track.
Absolutely. All right. Dandy, Uno, anything else to add to that?
Um,
No, no, I think most nailed it. Yeah. It's about not losing hope.
Not losing hope.
Yeah, not losing hope, and you just need to know that it's okay to reach out. And this goes
Absolutely.
especially for men, because
Yep.
especially for men, you need to know
Yeah.
that it's okay to reach out for help.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hope that message comes across the song.
And what was, just to add on this is just more personal for us. Like when he passed, that was that moment when I realized the number of people and friends around us that were also not in a good place. And I
Yeah.
think that was also that opportunity for them to also voice out and reach out that, hey man, I've not been great these last couple of months. And I think that's when we realized that, sometimes you just need to pick up the phone, and we haven't, because we don't realize it because we've all been
Yeah.
in lockdown, or, you have cabin fever, quarantine fatigue. You don't realize that you just actually haven't communicated with friends or people in a long time. And you realize, oh man, I haven't spoken to this person in like a year, maybe. And so it's important to just once in a while, and it's been great because the people that have reached out are some people that have not met or seen in a long time, and they were just sharing how they felt, and then what they went through, and understanding how we were feeling. So I think it's important in this day and age that everybody just kind of um, lends a helping hand. Just reach out to people, just say hello, man, what's up, hope you're doing okay. Sometimes that's
Correct.
all it takes.
That's
Yeah.
very true. Yeah, especially in the last year, like you all mentioned, it's very important. Just pick up the phone and say hello and lend a ear. Lend an ear. That's all
Yeah,
that we. Yeah, because you
Yep.
never know, and it's okay to
exactly.
reach out for help. Like Uno said, no, even if you are a guy, I think it's more difficult for men to reach out for help because you want to always be seen as the stronger one, and reaching out for help just tells you that you're not very strong anymore. It doesn't really matter. We're all there for you, so reach out for help.
Yep.
It's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so we know that the album is coming up. Anything else, moving forward that you guys may, maybe invested in making happen?
Danny, you want to talk about the vinyl?
Ooh.
yeah, so for this album, we definitely was thinking about to press vinyls and merch and all that for the fans, especially for the
Nice.
Filipino fans, to have something that like you can get reminded of, like a physical copy of like Jamaican music, So we definitely planning that, and yeah, what else?
Yeah,
What else?
so we've been in touch with his brothers and the family. So Chris Garcia, who's a famous tattoo artist, and Jameer's brother. So he's gonna design the cover for us, and it's something that we want to put together and release more for the for the fans and Jameer
Yeah.
fans. Um, Other than that, I think with E.A.R, like we said, we've got the EP coming out, which is not just about 5 songs on it, and we'll put that out, and then maybe new music might come in the future. I'm sure it will. It's just a matter of when. We'll put this one out first because it's, all in all, we would have released 10 songs in the last 12 months. So
Nice.
I think that's enough for us to wait to, lockdowns lift, borders open for us to start performing together. That will be next, in all
Yes.
honesty,
Yeah.
like getting back on the road.
Yeah, I can imagine you guys are like, waiting for that to happen because, like you said, performing together is, where you make that magic, isn't it? That the energy, the vibe as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah, here's hoping for things to get back to normalcy. All right. So, as always, after we do the preview, we'll play a little game. It's called What's on Your Mind. We'll ask you a quick question and you give us the first thing that comes to your mind, basically. You guys ready?
Yep.
Let's go.
Yeah, so we'll go
Alright.
in order of Moods, Dandy, and Uno.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Very nice. So the first question, okay. You guys are a super group, so each one has, a talent that contributes to the magnificence of the group, right? So if you could pick a Disney princess or a female character to be the
From Disney.
female vocalist in your group, who would it be? A Disney princess.
I'll probably go with like Princess Jasmine, I guess.
I go
She's
with Mulan.
Asian looking.
You didn't take long for that. That means you've already thought about it, right?
It's my real favorite Disney character, so I just picked that one up.
Fair enough. Dandy?
I go with Mulan. She's Asian.
Oh,
Oh man, I was just about to say that.
You can pick Raya, the new one.
Okay lah, I'll take that lah. I don't have anyone else because in my mind it's like Mulan. Because
All right.
all right. Now, coming from different countries in the region, if Project E.A.R had to pick one city to be the main hub for the group, which city would that be? Moods?
Ooh, man, anywhere in the world or just within?
Yeah, anywhere in the world.
I love New York. I mean, I've only been there once,
yeah.
but I love New York. So that would be it.
Yeah.
Like Lower East Side, where when we were touring US, that apartment that we stayed in. Yeah, that was it, man. That was that for me was like, yeah, if we were in a band and we were living together, that street, that block, that apartment, that would be it.
Nice. Dandy?
I would say besides Asia, right? I mean, maybe Butch Vic's studio in LA. It's our new base.
Keeping him close so that
we
he's always
haven't
going to be
been there
working
yet,
with
but
you. Very smart. Uno?
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I would say LA because I love that whole coast, like LA, San Diego. Been there. I think that's where like it's very vibrant and that's where you can get a lot of like-minded connections and I mean like the lifestyle is cool as well over there, and it's I like it over there.
Alright.
Like apart from New York, like what Mood said, our time in New York was really cool.
Nice.
All right. Very nice. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, if there was a motivational quote that Project E.A.R could represent, what would that quote be?
I would say Jame's famous quote, "Peace, love, and music." That would be
Nice.
it.
Yeah. No
yeah,
doubt.
that's the only quote you're gonna get from all of us, because that's the quote.
Nice. Okay,
Okay.
cool. So we'll stick to that. Next question. Now, if each one of you were part of the 7 dwarfs from Snow White, which dwarf would you each be? Moods?
I don't know,
Oh
man.
man, I don't remember the names though.
I remember
We got
the
Grumpy,
I don't-
Sneezy, Sleepy, Bash, Doc, and Dopey. Bash,
I'll probably
I'm
be
missing
Doc,
one.
I think.
Doc, okay.
I sound like I'm a dopey.
Dandy?
Then I'm sleepy.
Okay, the last question.
Okay, last one. If you could push a button and make a change to something in the world, what would your button change?
We all know that. For me, it's to take us back to 2019 and go to Wuhan and get rid of that virus.
For me, it would be the global warming button. Like
Yeah.
relieve our nature, relieve our oceans from the plastic, relieve our air from from all the bad stuff that's in there, what we put in, and bring
Nice.
the bring the woods, bring the forest back.
Yeah, same here. I mean, like if there's a button, I would say like reset the nature.
Mm.
Nice.
It's
Very
very
nice.
important. It's very important. Our resources are depleting.
Absolutely.
Yo, it's so bad. Like in Thailand to Singapore to Malaysia, I think if you look at our oceans right now, you can see in the last 10 years that every ocean that we have, or every beach that we have, is full of plastic right now.
Yep.
You go, and you can tell me whatever, and I believe that it's in Malaysia the same thing, or in Borneo, or in Singapore, or whatever, wherever you go to the beach, you go into the water, and you find plastic everywhere. It's
Yep.
so bad right now.
Yep.
That's
So
like
bad.
we really need
Yep.
to do something about that.
Absolutely. All right. So there you go, guys. 5 questions. You guys did brilliantly. Thank you so much for your honesty. I love them all. Thank you so much for joining us on the show as well. We've come to the end of the show already. Any last words for your fans and our viewers this afternoon?
Well, thanks for all the support, and keep on, supporting local independent music, Southeast Asian music. I think that's the most important message.
Yeah.
For me.
Thank you guys for supporting us. Please check out Dark Times if you haven't, and get ready for the new releases to come.
Awesome. Uno?
Very nice.
Yep. Same here. I just want to say, like, thank you for all the love and support all these years. And, we hope that we can continue doing what we love doing. We will continue, like, releasing music, and there's going to be a lot more coming from us. Especially, we really hope that we are able to kind of, like, really live up and fulfill, like, our dear brother Jamir's legacy. And really look out. We just released Dark Times. A lot more music is coming out, so look out for all those new releases from us.
Nice. So we're looking forward to that as well. Thank you once again for joining us on the show. We love the song, and we hope to have you guys on the show once again, in the near future as well. Darren, anything else to add?
No, I just want to say thanks, for making time to come up to the show and to chat with us and, share your insights on
Yeah,
and
man.
your experience, for being an artist, for so long and being the kings of the scene in each of our tiny little scenes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us.
you.
I mean, and thanks for being so kind and sweet. We don't feel like we're the kings. We're still paying our dues. Just like anybody else. Yeah, but thanks, man.
All right.
Thanks,
All
guys.
right. So you guys have a fantastic weekend. Take care and stay safe. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye bye.
All right, so there you go, the guys from Project E.A.R. That
Mm.
was an amazing chat. I really enjoyed, speaking to them. I have learned to love the song. The reason I say learn is when I first heard the song, I was like, "Whoa, hold on, what is this?" And I
Yeah.
had to listen to the whole song, and then I just kept listening to it over and over again. So yeah, it's a brilliant track. Go check it out. It's available now everywhere. I just love it. Darren?
Yeah. I think it has so much power in that song, and I think it's even more significant now. I mean, it's very sad that Jamir, he's pretty much like the king of like heavy music in the Philippines, and it's sad that he's passed on, but now it brings so much more meaning to that song. It's such a powerful song, and to see Asian artists working with legendary people. Butch Vig worked on Nirvana, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, so, and everybody knows how legendary Nirvana is, and Butch Vig also plays in a legendary band called Garbage, so I think it's
Correct.
amazing to see Asians working together with people from, the West that we always look up to so much, yeah. But
I think what you can learn from them, if you're a new
That's true.
artist coming up in the industry, I think what you can learn from them is that, you just got to keep hustling. You just got to keep working hard at your own talent and
Yep,
what you want to achieve, because everything's possible if you
that's
put your
true.
heart, soul,
That's true.
blood, sweat, and tears in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, keep doing what you do, because you'll be amazing if you put in, whatever is meant to be put in. So
Yeah,
thank you
that's
so
right.
much for joining us on Pop Up Stage this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have two pop up picks this afternoon to end the show
We
with?
have, we have. I have a pick which I will pause this background music first. So yeah, so I've been working with a couple of artists, and these are really really cool artists, to be honest. And let's check this one out. This is by Kelvin Young. I mean, he released a track last week, and for the
Correct.
next couple of weeks, I mean,
You say
not
he's gonna
couple of
release a
weeks,
track every week, right?
every week until end of the year. Okay, so this
Wow.
track was released yesterday. Let's check it out. Okay, I'm just gonna jump to the super exciting part. Yeah, so if you guys like guitar music, you would like his stuff. And it's every single week up till November. So can you guys imagine
Awesome.
the amount of music that he's gonna put out? um yeah, so that's one. And he's putting out like guitar like lessons as well,
Yep.
of how to play the song and stuff. So it's very interesting. But
Nice.
this next one as well, I this guy, he's been hustling hard, and he's just trying everything. So this guy, his name is called Brandon Savan. So
Hey, we
he's got
spoke to
a
him, did we?
we
Brandon
did, we did.
Savon? Yeah.
Yeah, so this track dropped, I think, maybe 2 weeks ago or so. So this track's called Over Again. Let's check it out. It's
Mhm.
an R&B track featuring Ezra Gabby and another person which I don't know how to pronounce the name, but so I'll keep it as that. All right, let's go. That whole sexy R&B vibe.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we were more than friends? But you were my man. We couldn't understand. We had other plans when times are rough. You held my hand. So can we start all over again, babe? We can start all over again. We can start all over again, babe. We can start all over again.
I know you really wanna keep it on the low, but let our love take flight, flyer than a G6, rapping like 3-6.
Yeah, so very nice. That's a little bit of that R&B and hip hop vibe. I think it's cool.
But that's memang
Uh,
his style, kan? He's
that is his
very,
style.
yeah, very
Yeah,
nice.
it's cool, to see, like, because he's a new artist, and the people that he's featured are new as well. So to
Mhm.
see new artists coming out, putting out new music, and just creating, I think it's amazing. And that's why we
Absolutely.
have pop-up stage. So if you are an artist, and you want to get your song on the show, you want to come on to the show and just talk about it, you want to promote your song, this is actually one of the platforms. And the whole reason why we started this is to harness all of that, and to make platforms available to people, so that they can actually discover you. So,
Absolutely.
and now we have an email. I mean, for the past year, we've been like saying that, oh, if you want to send your track, just
Mhm.
contact us personally. I think it's a lot easier now if you just drop us
Give
an
you one,
email.
yeah,
Yeah,
email address.
at popupstagemy@gmail.com. Just drop us an email there. Either Mag or myself, we'll check it, and we'll respond. So we definitely want to get in touch with you guys. We want to, want your music, and there's no limitation to the kind of music as well. you know
Absolutely.
um it can be death metal, it can be pop, can be rock, hip hop, whatever. And
Mhm.
if you're an artist in the region as well, like if you're from the Philippines, or India, if you want, if you may, send us your music, and we'll get in touch, and It's all about sharing good music right here on the platform and on the show. Yeah.
Absolutely. So once again, the email address is popupstagemy@gmail.com.
Hmm.
Okay. I don't know whether Darren already announced the email address, but yeah.
I just did.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so again was correct. All right, so thank you so much for joining us this Friday afternoon. We're going to wish you a fantastic weekend ahead. Remember, I know as of tomorrow, most of us go into the conditional movement control order, which means more freedom to move around. But, from all of us, we wish you could just, stay safe at all times and reduce going out so much to reduce infections as well. Till we see you again next Friday. Take care, stay safe, and have a great weekend. Bye bye.